everybody, welcome back to another Classics Are Better. I'm Travis and today we are working on Old Blue. It is a 1968 Chevrolet Impala of the four-door variety. So it is a full-on land yacht, but my great-grandmother bought it new, so it's also a family heirloom. Last time I drove this thing, which was admittedly too long ago, it got way too hot. And I mean, she got real spicy, like 225, 230. It was not happy. I was not happy. It was not good times. Thinking about it afterwards, I mean, it is the original clutch fan and radiator in here fighting against a Texas summer. It is just, it's tired, right? Well, hopefully I have the solution to the Impala's cooling issue right here in this box. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to today's sponsor, Alloyworks. They reached out to me to see if we could work together on any projects, and I instantly thought about the Impala's overheating issues. So they sent me out a 3-row aluminum radiator. There should be an aluminum fan shroud in there and dual electric fan setup kit. So hopefully with all of that, we can get the Impala running nice and cool. Now, luckily, they didn't give me any real terms on this, except for that I need to make a video, reviewing it. So we're going to pull out the original radiator. I'm going to compare these things. We'll see if this one is up to snuff. And then I'll get it in there and we'll see how it performs. And I can give you guys an honest review, but I'm pretty excited to start tackling this. So let's get after it. Let's see what's in the box. So it came with all the fan control stuff. But check this out. It came out of the box just like this. It is already put together. I most definitely thought that the fans would be loose and I'd have to connect them to the shroud and then bolt the shroud to the radiator and find hardware and all that stuff. But it is on there. It's tight. So far, so good. Let's dig into it a little bit before I rip the old one out and get this one in and kind of see what's special about this and how they stack up beside each other. So taking a closer look at the specs on my setup here, it is an Alloyworks all aluminum 3-row radiator. It and the shroud are both made out of AA 5052 grade aluminum. The filler neck and the cap are both CNC machined. It's got a OEM stock style brass petcock drain down at the bottom, so easy for maintenance there. It says it's built to OE standards for fitment, so we'll definitely test that out. And it even comes with a 12-month warranty. That's always nice. As far as my fan setup here, it comes with two 12-inch 90-watt fans. Each one's capable up to 1730 CFM, and then it comes with the thermostat, relay kit, and all that kind of good stuff to get them working. So here is the heart of Old Blue. It is a 307 small block Chevy with a 2-speed power glide transmission. It's time to get the old radiator out. We'll see how it looks compared to the new one. Make sure they're about the same size, all that kind of good stuff. Just a quick heads up before I get started. I'm gonna let the motor cool down, let all the antifreeze cool down. You never wanna pop the cap on a radiator with hot antifreeze on it. It can spray out and burn you, and burn you really bad. So better safe than sorry, let it all cool down. First step's just gonna be removing the radiator cap. Next thing is going to be draining the coolant. So normally there's going to be a petcock or some sort of release valve down on one of the bottom corners. If you don't have something like that to drain it, you're just going to have to remove the bottom hose and just be warned that is a huge mess. But either way, make sure you have something down below to collect your mess because antifreeze is a poison, so you want to dispose of it properly. After that, disconnect the overflow hose from the top of the radiator. Next, I'm going to unbolt the fan shroud. It's just 4 half-inch bolts. That way I can get it pushed back out of my way. Next thing I'm going to do is disconnect the lower and upper radiator hoses. Just be aware there could still be a little antifreeze hidden in there. Look in those, make sure that they're still firm, that it's not rotting or bloated or anything weird like that. Replace them if you need to. And then disconnect the cooling lines to the transmission. And then I'll drain all the ATF out of the bottom of the radiator. Now it's time to get the old radiator itself out, unbolt it from the sides, and then when you pick it up, just be aware there's probably still going to be some antifreeze and some ATF in the thing, so just plan accordingly. Here they are side by side out of the car, so I got the tape measure out. They do appear to be the same size, so hopefully it won't be too much of a hassle dropping the new one in and getting it bolted up. As far as the orientation of everything, the hose ins and outs seem to be in the same location. Your cooling lines for the trans coolers down there, petcocks in the same location. So it should be pretty much like putting a stock one back in, just much more efficient. So I'm excited to get this thing dropped in and see how it does. Last thing I need to do is take out the old clutch fan here. So it is just held in by 4 1/2-inch bolts. Get those backed out, and then I should be able to pull the fan right off. Time to get the new radiator in. Hopefully it bolts up just like the old one did. Good news, it slid right in without any issues, so completely bolted up to the stock location. Now that it's sitting in there looking good, I need to get the fans wired up before I get any of the hoses and cooling lines in the way. Here's the wiring for the fans, made nice and simple. It's just a 4-wire setup off of a relay. So number 30 off the relay is my red wire right here, and that's just gonna run through a fuse and right to my battery. My black wire right here goes to my temperature sensor, and that will turn the fans off and on as I need them. That's number 85 off of the relay. The blue wire hooks to my fan, so I'm going to take both of the blue wires off the fans and combine them with this one. And then that is number 87 off of the relay. And then finally, my white wire here is going to go to a 12-volt power source when the key is on, either through my fuse box or the back of my ignition, something like that I need to check. And then that is number 86 off of the relay. But yeah, that's how easy it is, just 4 wires. Fans themselves have wires, so the blue wire is gonna go to my blue wire on my relay, and the black wire I'm just gonna attach to ground. So I was looking for the best place to put my temperature sensor for the fans, and I think I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm gonna take this old thermostat cover off right here, and I'm gonna switch to a style like this that has the ports in the top, and that way I can just take my temp sensor, take this thing out right there, and boop, right in there. It should be good to go. To attach my relay, I'm just going to use one of these little zip tie magnets and then tuck it up in the inner fender well back here behind the battery. Electrical is done. Hopefully it worked. Time to get the hoses and cooling lines reattached. Get some fluid in this thing. Just something I do when I fill up a radiator for the first time is I use distilled water. That way, if there's any kind of pinhole leaks in the actual radiator, say from shipping or manufacturer, and or, you know, if your hoses are leaking, it's just water on the ground, who cares? That way it's not a whole mess of dealing with antifreeze everywhere. That way you can test out your system a few times, and then once everything's zipped up and good to go, you can just drain the water out the petcock and put actual antifreeze in there. Well, found a leak. So it started leaking right here from this side of the thermostat. So this is just one more reason why I test it with distilled water. That way all the leaks, it's just water. Who cares, right? It'll dry up and I can get this thing fixed. So far so good on the radiator itself though. No leaks, all the hoses down there are good. That seems like the only issue. Finally, my friends, got everything put back together so it's wired up. I got all the hoses in, got it wired inside, batteries back in. Should be ready to go. Now I'm gonna run it at first with the cap off to let some air bleed out of the system, stuff like that. The only issue I got going now is that it is 33 degrees outside, so driving around this thing around is not really gonna help. I've been having my overheating issues mainly while I was idling, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get it to idle here in the shop. I'll crack the door so it don't die, and we'll see if the new radiator and fans keep it cool. Okay, so I had to open a lot of doors so I don't die. It is so smoky in here, my eyes are watering, y'all. I'm calling this one a success, guys, so if you ignore this thing almost smoking me out of the building and the crazy high idle on the carburetor right now, the radiator and the fans, they did really good. So I let it run for about 20 minutes till I just couldn't stand it. My eyes were burning in here. Fans kicked on, kept it cool, and that's about all I can ask when it's in the low 30s outside. Now, I will torture test this thing this summer, going on a cruise, and it's like 106 out here. We will really see how it holds up long term. So I'll definitely have to check back in with another video. But fit, finish, all that's great. Didn't leak, did its jobs. It's really easy to wire. No complaints. So I will say, if you guys are looking to get a new radiator and electric fans for your auto setup, definitely suggest checking out Alloyworks website to see if they have an option for you. Besides radiators and stuff, they also carry overflow tanks and intercoolers and oil coolers and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And if you use discount code BETTER, it'll even save you some money. So check it out, see if they have something for you. As always, everybody, if you got any kind of value from this, I greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like or subscribe for me. It helps out a little channel like mine immensely. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more blue in the future, let me know. But get out there, get wrenching when you can. Until next time, my friends, Have a good one.